All right. On the first podcast after the World Series champions crown, we got Nick Bowens out here wearing a Seattle Mariners jersey. The only team that hasn't been to a World Series. Good pick. Good pick, Nick. I like it.
You know, I'm just honoring the history of the game. Baseball's a historic sport.
Hey, you know,
It's a bold move.
It's a bold play. I like it.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of us is wearing a apparel from the team that did win, however. I don't know if you saw.
I did see.
Yeah, the Washington Nationals ended up coming back and won the 2019 World Series.
Congrats to them. Well done. Well deserved.
District of Champions.
There was you had a lot of confidence in the Astros. What happened?
Absolutely. I don't know. Talk to them. I'm not out there, unfortunately. I can't swing for them, can't pitch for them. But yeah, you know.
So
Nats had some pretty good hitting at key moments.
Yeah,
it seemed to be the common theme there. And
yeah,
lots we can go through.
So Brandon and I had a bet, and we haven't really brought it up on the podcast ever. So basically, what the bet was is he was full confidence in the Astros. I was full confidence in the Nats, but I don't have enough money to bet. So we decided loser has to get a tattoo picked by the winner. But I figured instead of the winner, we throw this out on YouTube to our fans here, and we let them send us picks, and we'll choose the best one. We might have a prize. We might not, depending on...
We might get none.
We might get none. We would appreciate it if you sent it in. In your shitty tattoo ideas. I'm going to put this on the Instagram and stuff. Send them into me. Send them into Nick. Send them into whoever the hell you want. You probably won't be able to send them into Brandon, but we'll take a look at them. We'll pick them, and we'll get it tattooed on Brandon.
Choose the best one. Yep.
Yep. I like it. I'm
Small,
excited.
Though.
I'm excited.
Not huge. I'm pretty excited about it. Not gonna lie.
I'm excited. It's gonna be fun.
It was worth it.
Yep. All right, so the actual series, Steven Strasburg did exactly what I said he was going to do and dominated, got himself the MVP award.
Absolutely did well in that game 6.
Yep.
I don't think I expected him to go that long, but he just kept going.
After that first inning, it was kind of like, oh shit, this doesn't look pretty, and then you just shut it down and said, yeah, that's enough of that. We're taking this one. 8 1/3. I think it was double-digit Ks. I don't have it in front of me, but just wild. That one was getting a little choppy. I don't know. Yeah, I was impressed.
I mean, how could you not be though?
He did exactly what I said he was going to do,
as you would hope, though.
Yep.
Which is fair, but like
the other side of the ball, Verlander wasn't what Verlander should be.
Verlander gave up a run in the first and then 2 in the 5th.
Yep.
And then he was yanked after that.
He was good and he was good.
It's just not good enough for
he wasn't
game
good
6,
enough. Yeah.
Game 7.
No, right. Especially going up against the Nats' best pitcher in the series.
Absolutely. And he was locked in, and they had pretty good hits too as well. You can't Rendon just took over that game.
Yep.
Right there. 5 RBIs.
Yep.
Ridiculous.
It was wild.
Someone who doesn't really care about the sport. Headed into probably the biggest free agency he'll ever see.
Hilarious.
Yeah. Just cruising in.
They came out in that game too, and I think I'm going to blame Brandon for the Game 6 Astros loss because they get up 2-1, and this guy texts me and goes, "It's over. They got their run. They're not scoring anymore." I'm like, relax.
I don't know if I said it's over.
Relax. You literally told me they're done. They're not scoring anymore. In the 4th
I think I said Nats got their one run.
I can pull it up if you want, but I'm not going to bother scrolling through our messages. There's too many. I'm going to blame you a little bit. Jinxed it.
Once again, I'm here on the couch. I'm here watching.
Called it way too early.
Nah.
Had so much confidence in the Astros, and they just... So Bregman hits his homer in the first inning, and he does the bat carry, we'll call it, and hands it off or tries to hand it off to the coach. It's a bit of a mess on the handoff.
Drops it. The coach isn't expecting it.
I think you look kind of stupid doing it, but it's cool. It's different. It's a dickhead celebration. I love
disrespectful.
Sure.
Even they showed Altuve. Altuve turns around and is just He's not even like smirking, like laughing at it. He's like, oh man, he's like, that is bad. Like that right there is something that he even was not on board with, right? Like that.
He even said himself, he's like, that's not me. I shouldn't have done that. It was a heat of the moment thing. But it was cool. It's something you kind of like to see in the game.
I think that is him.
Like, I know. That right there is your jinx, man. That's your, like, you rattled the cages with some pretty good hitters, and that just proved, like, because after that they didn't get anything after that, right? Like
they shut it down after that.
Their bats just went away. Strasburg locked right in, and then
the sickest thing for me too is when Soto hits that home run and he does the exact same thing. I'm like, I love
But the better thing is that he's staring down the Astros like dugout.
Yeah.
Whereas Bregman was looking at the Astros dugout. Yeah. It's like Soto's staring them back, like staring them down.
Bregman's like hyped about the home run.
Absolutely.
Soto's like, look,
Soto's
I can do it too, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
I love it.
No,
I just loved it. It's like, it's that gamesmanship that it's like, all right, you're gonna pull this, we're winning.
As much as I love that, like Strasburg won MVP, like you could have given it to realistically
so many
like
guys.
Rendon, Soto, like any of those three right there.
Yep.
Could have gotten my vote.
What else happened in that game 6? It was Rendon went off. Strasburg was incredible. Obviously, I think we covered everything in that one so far. Game 7 was a lot of fun. It started out kind of similar. It was I thought the Astros were taking it. They got up
all over.
Yeah, they get up 2-0 early, and it's like shit. I don't know. They had runners on in literally every inning for the first 5 with Max Scherzer, and Max Scherzer didn't look like Max. It was just like shit. I don't know. I don't foresee the Nats coming back in this. I'm like,
but they could not string together runs when they got runners in base. I think they left.
Scherzer was giving up hits, sure, but nobody was cashing them in. Scherzer was shutting the door when guys got on.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd give up I think you'd walk someone, or give up a hit, and then that's it. They'd see like first, they'd go into a fielder's choice, and then after that, it's like you never gave up a run after the first. Right?
It's crazy though, because our conversations this entire postseason really has been us talking about how clutch the Astros are, and like that was your thing for the longest time. It was like, they probably win this series because they have those clutch bats.
But they did show that in Washington, though.
I know. This is what I mean. Like, it's not...
They just, like, every team when they were at home, they were almost, like, afraid to show who they were and afraid to flex that muscle that we've seen, right? But,
Like, I never once disagreed with you. Like, they had those clutch bats for so long, and then you get to that game, and that was the issue, is that they just couldn't come up with that clutch hit.
And then I felt like in both games, right, you saw the same trend. They got up early, and then they thought, okay, we're going to coast, and we're going to rely on our pitching, which was, like, absolutely great, but then you saw the one mistake that they have, the Nash always took advantage of, right? Yep. You make a mistake, they took advantage of it, and that's really what got them in. I think it was maybe, four at bats that you could break it down to in Game 7 that took out the Astros. I think it was like a home run, a walk, and then another home run.
Yep.
Like within 3 at bats, right? Like,
I think the big mistake that they made is one that's been talked about a whole lot, is not bringing in Garrett Cole.
Before we get to that, what did you guys think of Greinke coming out there?
I didn't like it.
I think he should have finished the inning.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You don't take out your stud righty for a righty out of the pen.
Yeah.
But the issue was those, like, if you look at Harris's numbers, he was like,
he was incredible.
He was the better, and that gave Hinch, like, always the confidence that if my starter was shaky, I'm going to my pen, and that's always how he did it, and he stuck to that to the very end.
It was a 1 in a million that Harris would give up that home run.
Dude,
and
that's such a chip shot. Like, look at that pitch, man. Like, where that thing is going away from him. He just he took advantage of that.
It goes back to
like mistake. Not even a mistake. I don't even know if you could call it a mistake.
It goes back to what I said in the last podcast, though. They used Will Harris a lot in this series, and I was saying to Brandon last time, it's like, if you see the same guys enough times, which the Astros hitters had at that point, and like, yes, the bullpen was pretty dominant for the first 5-6 games, but once you hit, they've seen him enough, like, you're gonna get that pitch where it's like, okay, I've seen this exact thing before. Here we go. Goodbye. And that's kind of what happened with Will Harris, is he served one up, and it was just like, okay, I've seen this before, and boom, away it went.
I don't know, man. That thing was trailing away. I don't know if
he still hit it.
Absolutely.
Doesn't matter.
Like, I'd give Kendrick all the...
Yeah.
all the props. Give him a nod for that.
Is Howie Kendrick the most clutch player in this postseason?
Rendon.
Say that again.
Rendon.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Like, yes, you could say Rendon. Rendon had clutch games, but like Howie Kendrick hits the grand slam to win it in the ALDS, and then he hits the home run to win it in the World Series. Like, he had the two biggest hits in the entire postseason.
I could be butchering the exact number on this stat, but in elimination games this postseason, after the seventh inning, Rendon hasn't got out.
Yeah, that's fine.
All his home runs were after the seventh inning. He had two doubles.
Yeah. Dude, it was like, I remember I saw it. There was like walk, home run, double, home run. Like, he was just like everything after the seventh. Yeah, he definitely got.
Kendrick, sure, that grand slam, that was the single most clutch play. But I think over the course, Rendon was just so good in late innings there that closed out games for them when they needed it.
Yeah, and like you don't get in that position if Rendon doesn't hit that home run, right? It's not 2-1 anymore, right? Now it's 2-2 if Kendrick gets that home run, right? But before that, Rendon comes up, hits it. Now Soto gets on base, and Greinke's no longer trusted anymore, and he's pulled from the game, and then that completely changes it, right?
Huge walk from Soto too. Like, he worked that count real well.
That was a good at bat by Soto.
Real professional at bat from a kid that's just turned 21
Absolutely,
years old.
But they had been doing that. I think they kind of trained all those nads that, hey, we're taking everything like it's an 0-2 count. Like, you hit every pitch to like this is your last pitch, right? So don't like wait for yours. Go like, you know what I mean? Don't swing at nothing. Don't try to play into their game.
Yeah.
And like, Greinke's pretty hard to hit off of, I find. When he's completely locked in, man. Yeah, like this game showed he wasn't
former Cy Young,
but he
winner,
wasn't okay. But
Zach
if you think about the whole playoff run, though, he wasn't.
Trash.
He was the one that we questioned the whole way up, right? Yep. No matter how bad like Verlander did on his stat line, like Greinke was the one that we would always question.
Yep.
But now the game that mattered, realistically, he was there.
Yep.
And
he did everything he could to give.
I don't think his leash was long enough. No, like, you know what I mean. He could have stayed in that a lot longer. I feel because absolutely. Like, he's a Cy Young winner. Like, he's been on X amount of playoff runs. Like, he's gonna be with your team too for a few years, right? So it's something that you're now gonna build around. That Cole is definitely packed his bags. See you later. Have a good one. Now you're really on Verlander, Greinke. Like, right? Like, which is not a bad one too. But that right there, if you're having him next year, you got to go, look, man, it's game 7. You're starting this. Like, we're keeping you until you blow this lead.
Zach Greinke, the man who was days away from sending himself down to single A to be a shortstop.
Yep.
Still my favorite.
Zach Greinke is one of my favorite quotes. Like, he just has so many funny lines in interviews, and it seems like such a beauty.
It's so wild, man. I love that. I hate the player, but I love the guy. That's like, I don't know why. I just don't like Greinke as a pitcher.
Oh, I love him. The way he can change speeds on the same pitches.
Oh, I know, man. He throws like a 64 mile an hour. Like,
and it's not even just his curveball's the most noticeable, but his changeup fluctuates like 8 mile an hour. Yeah. And if you're sitting there thinking,
it's the same arm speed,
dude. I think they said in the game because him and Corbin played for the Diamondbacks together. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So I think they had actually they in the pen tried to see who could throw the slowest ball, and I can't remember who won, but I think it got to like 59 miles an hour. Like, that's how slow they got.
It's so crazy because he's deceptive.
Put it in perspective, that's how hard Brandt throws.
Yeah, right, that's nuts. That's like I was topping out at like 70, 71 in like my prime, and like
I don't know, man.
Zach
you're
Greinke
kind of a gym goer now.
Zach Greinke takes everything off of it, and it's still 70 miles an hour. I'm like, that's ridiculous, man.
Higher than 71.
Yeah,
I touched 80.
You what?
Yeah.
When?
3 years ago.
Wow.
Man. He's a big gym guy. He's a big bench guy. Iron days.
Next year I'm coming back throwing 85. Year after I'm throwing 90.
Notch. That was the easiest notch I ever got.
I need a lot of steroids real quick.
All right, well.
We kind of touched on it. we didn't actually get into the conversation. Garrett Cole, what's the reasoning behind not having him in that game?
Was he already pretty much done? So I think you guys said that he, what is it? He already pretty well had his stuff packed to go,
but not it was after. So this is the thing,
right? But so here's what I'm saying though: is if you got the sense that this guy's already done and not gonna be part of it, and Game 6 he's there, he's pitched for his contract already. Game 7, if he's not part of that plan to win,
he was in the he was warmed up. That was the whole thing.
I know they had him warming up, but never But I never got the feeling that they were going to put him in, because if they did, I think that he comes right after Harris. Why is Osuna
coming
he comes
before Harris?
Okay, right, but even still, though, you make the mistake now that Harris is gone. Hinch is already, like I said, Hinch has shown that he's going starter, bullpen. You mess up here. Garrett Cole is warming up at that point, and they bring in Osuna. They bring in their closer. So now you're already bringing a person who's out of position, who's pitching out of their normal position. Yeah. And you bring in your closer. So that to me right there says that Garrett Cole is not this is the closest the game has ever been. And if you need someone to come in and shut it down, Garrett Cole is your man. So why not? So that right there to me says that him and the team were not there was something that wasn't already on the same page.
But who cares? This is your last game. I don't give a shit if this guy hates us after today. I'm throwing him out there because he's our best pitcher and he's going to want to win a World Series.
I completely agree, but
I'm on that mindset for sure. That's that mad bum mentality.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm going to. Garrett Cole is your horse. He should have been in there. But to put just reason on it, Hinch said that if they got the lead back when Osuna went in, they wanted 2 innings out of Osuna, and that gave them 2 chances to get back into the game, and then Cole was going to go in. So
I think it's stupid.
I don't think Cole's a shutdown. Yeah, that's a weird way. But that's what I mean. Though you're really banking on a lot from your hitters who have proven that they're cold right now. It's not going. Yeah, exactly. So that to me right there is kind of a fluffy hey, there might be more to this, and Hinch might be a little more of a pride guy, I guess. I don't know. I don't know, because if Cole's warmed up and Cole's ready to go after that Harris home run, he's in. That right there is your moment.
Yeah.
Cole can go those. Cole can get me 3 innings, man. I don't care that he just pitched yesterday. He still wants to go.
If I'm managing that team, I've already seen Cole warm up before that inning. I would have had him back as soon as you put in Harris, or as soon as you warm up Harris, sorry. And instead of warming up Harris, I warm up Garrett Cole, so that if that moment comes, I'm here's our best pitcher. See if you can hit him. I'm not throwing, let's take a chance on Will Harris and let's go. I'm no, let's throw the guy who's had 3 10+ K games in the playoffs so far. I'm here you go. Good luck.
And then they kept Osuna too long, did they not?
Yeah. It's not like it mattered. They didn't score again.
Right. So, they were trying to score, and he gives up runs in the top of the inning.
It's demoralizing.
Which is not going to help. Yeah, if you're in the bottom of the 9th, we've seen crazy stuff happen in the bottom of the 9th. I mean, go to the Cubs, Cleveland, that.
Yep.
Right? But
so the big thing with Garrett Cole happened after the game. So Garrett Cole was obviously pissed off. I think he wanted to be in that game.
As he should be.
Yeah, right. I would be too. He comes out after the game, and media wanted to talk to him. Obviously, it's you kind of want to know how he feels about the whole situation and whatnot. He straight up told reporters that he doesn't think he should because he's unemployed, and he doesn't have a team right now. He doesn't need to go talk to reporters. Finally, sorry.
I was just going to add, before that, he walks in the locker room, packs up everything he owns that's in there, and they're at home. So he's got a fair bit of stuff there, and he carried it out in bags to that press conference. Yeah. He was gone. He wasn't looking back.
Yeah, no. So he finally comes out and does the press conference, and he's not wearing an Astros hat. He's not wearing any Astros gear. He's wearing a T-shirt and a Scott Boras hat, which, fuck. I knew he was a Scott Boras client, and I just kind of forgot until that.
Big Scott Boras.
And I'm this man is about to get paid.
Absolutely.
There's a handful of teams that he'll go to because a lot of teams don't deal with Scott Boras, and you've seen it in recent off seasons. But it's kind of a dick move. He kind of turned into a baby all of a sudden.
But isn't that what you want? Don't you? I wouldn't call it a baby, but don't you want that "I want the ball right now" mentality from starter?
I understand. I understand.
Give me that ball. I love that.
I understand. That's him basically going within his rights as an MLB player to speak out and be man, fuck you guys, pretty much.
Yeah, I get it.
Straight up,
No,
like you didn't put me in Game 7. I was by far the best pitcher, like that you have, and I don't see the most important game, and so that right there says to me that you're done with me. So now I'm done as well.
I get that.
Why am I going to rep the team any longer?
I understand why you're pissed off with AJ Hinch. That's fine, but like this team is still. Look at the difference between the two teams. Like the brotherhood that was the Washington Nationals for the entire run. Like that team didn't give a shit who got it done. It did not matter who was on the mound. It was one of these 25 guys are going to go out and they're going to be our hero today. The Astros just didn't seem to have that same camaraderie.
Didn't it seem like they've had it for so long, and then things started to fall off when their hitters got cold this year?
Kind of running. Yeah,
they were ready to point fingers. They were like,
I don't think they knew what to do, looking like the bad guys. I think that was the issue. Was that they were going into the World Series? They were not the underdogs.
Nobody wanted them to win,
but they were supposed to win. That was the issue. Was that they were?
You wanted them to win?
Yeah.
Nobody but Nick wanted them to, and Brandon wanted them to win.
2 against 1.
Most people didn't want them to win,
okay,
and it's not something they're used to. Like even their last World Series run, it was like, shit, let's watch the Astros win a World Series because they haven't done it in so long. Now it's just like, man, I'm sick of watching the Astros win.
Right. But I think they went into this World Series that like they're the bad guys. Then they weren't used to that.
You kind of saw them turn on each other, and I think this whole Garrett Cole thing kind of speaks wonders to it. It's just like as soon as you possibly could, you quit on your team. And as much as you can be pissed off at AJ Hinch, that's fine. Like, discuss that down the road. But, like, as soon as you can, you're like, fuck this team. I had nothing good here. I'm out.
Okay,
give me my shit. There's no way I'm coming back.
He didn't say that.
No, he did. But
did you see the tweet?
Okay, but if you're
he thanked his teammates. He thanked all the people he met there in the organization, except the coaches.
Yeah.
Said he loved the fans, loved his time there, and that was that. He's not wrong. He's not a part of that team anymore.
No,
he's not wrong.
He did post a big statement on Twitter after thanking everyone, but it was like
weird use of the winky face in it. He was like,
right,
I love
meeting my fellow
players.
Sure.
You just lost Game 7, and you know that the only thing that people are going to talk about are either you're a free agent now and you didn't show up in Game 7.
Yep.
That's it. That's the two questions that you're gonna now have to face. So absolutely, if I'm him, and now like you have to go talk to somebody, man. Playing sports, I'm sure we've all had that loss, and like thank God I haven't had to talk to fucking 6,000 reporters or with all these people pointing cameras and be like, oh, you guys lost, and especially when I didn't play.
Yeah.
If I'm sitting there like, yeah, it was really tough watching from the bullpen over there, you know, like warming up and just throwing the catcher. Like, so I completely understand why he'd be almost like a Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah,
I'm just here so I don't get fined, pretty much. Yeah.
I kind of get it.
Yeah.
Have you seen that Blake Griffin comedy stand-up thing? He's talking about like how athletes just seem dumb because they make them do press conferences right after a loss.
Yeah.
And he's like, he calls people up on stage. He's like, all right, give me 25 push-ups, 25 jumping jacks. Let's go. And they're like standing there panting. And he's like, he slaps them. And he's like, now you just lost that game. How do you feel about it? And the guy's like, well, it sucks. And it's just like, it's so funny because it's so true. Like, they shouldn't have to talk after a Game 7 loss like that.
No.
Give them the day. Talk to them tomorrow. The game ended at what, midnight? Talk to them tomorrow. Let them sleep it off. That'll get their emotions in check. Nobody's tired. Nobody's pissed off. Well, they're still pissed they lost, but it's not like nothing's in the heat of the moment, and I hate that.
You had time to look back and be like, this is what happened. I kind of understand, blah, blah, blah. I don't mind them talking to AJ Hinch. I think some of that needs to come on his shoulders at that point, because it's like I think you need to be explaining to me right now why you didn't have Garrett Cole in that game.
The whole thing about the Astros are so analytically inclined. Oh, look at them shifting this, that, and that the last couple of years. How many times did their shift get beat this round? So many. Even in, what was it, the 8th round when Osuna gave up those runs? Leadoff hit by Cabrera. Bregman was in the shift. He was the only guy on the left side of the infield. They pulled him into the grass line saying Cabrera was going to bunt, and he blasts one that would have been a routine ground ball.
Yep. Well, even Game 6, the first Nats run. It was they had it in the shift, and Rendon just like, thank you, I'll take that. Yep. Simple base hit up the where second base should be.
The hitters are too good.
Yep. Everybody knows that. But when you start getting beat, you got to adapt. I don't think they came together enough to win it, and I don't think coaching was on point.
No. There's those just a handful of things that just kind of all came together, and it just kind of lost it for the Astros.
Yep.
Sucks. I mean, they're a good team. They were the favorite from the beginning.
They should have been. They should have been the favorite.
They were easily the better roster, I think, like talent-wise.
Their hitters just weren't there.
No.
And give the Nationals pitchers credit for that. Give the Nationals lineup tons of credit. Obviously, they outscored them, but
Just weren't
their
there.
hitters weren't there.
No,
Really,
this
it
is
was
the
at home.
wildest
It
thing
was
I've ever
like,
seen.
Yeah, you play at home and you felt the pressure.
Yep. We can watch sports for the rest of our lives, and I almost guarantee you we'll never see this again.
No.
Where the road team wins every single game in the series.
I was listening to Pardon My Take this morning, and PFT called it the cuck sweep. They won every game in another man's home.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
No,
we might have to adapt. I'm going to use that for sure.
It's wild though.
It's ridiculous.
Man.
Yeah,
ridiculous.
It's also this is like, what is it? Across three major sports.
The
It's
only
been
time.
the first year for like the Nationals, the Blues, and then the Raptors. They've all just won their first championships
Oh shit!
in history. Yeah. So now if
all three of them were on the road.
right.
Right?
Really? Huh?
Isn't that think about
didn't
when's
even think
the,
of
Yeah. Oh yeah.
when's the last series win you've seen that was at home?
Ooh.
I couldn't tell you. I don't think it's been the last 4 or 5 years.
I think
Did
Washington? No. Did Washington win it on the road? The Caps?
I meant World Series, but
Okay, yeah.
I don't know.
World Series?
No,
I mean,
Washington was in
sports
Vegas.
in general.
I was thinking sports in general, dude. Like most of the Blackhawks Caps that I remember have been on the road.
Yeah, the one was in Philly.
One was
I think
in
both
Tampa,
of Pittsburgh,
Boston. They were
both
all
of
game
Pittsburgh were on the
sixes.
road.
Like it's just so crazy to look after. The players are so excited, and the fans that are there are so excited. But you look around, and there's only like a couple thousand fans because
Yeah.
nobody's getting tickets there. It's crazy. Like that's why the parades have gotten so big. I think because everybody's winning on the road.
I think
Right,
Golden
yeah.
State won one at home.
Yeah.
But like across all the sports, that's all I can think of is one that was at home recently, in recent memory anyways.
Yeah. Baseball's been a while, I think, for sure. Yeah. Fun
Yeah.
fact.
Huh. So be the road team. Don't go in as the
Sports, man.
good team.
and be new this year. NFL, if you're looking for your first championship,
Yeah, I think that's
there you
the.
go. This is your year. You got to jump in.
I think that's the way to go, though. Like it as like the way the Nats did it in a sense, like because they didn't go in with any expectations, right? They came into that wild card game, almost lost the wild card game. Like they were a Josh Hader.
If it wasn't for that error in right field,
yep, that idiot in right field. I don't even remember his name, but
me either. That's not a good thing.
no.
What's his name?
I don't know. But if it wasn't for a Josh Hader blown save, which is one of the rarest things in baseball these days, given how good he's been, especially in the postseason, then the Nats aren't even in this round. They're not even in the DS, let alone
not even in the postseason, technically.
No. Yeah. And that just like that happens, changes the entire course, and it's like this team goes in here against the number one ranked team in the Dodgers, best in the majors. Still no expectations.
Hands it to them.
Wins that series.
And
it's just like
it was a lot like the Blues. Like think about how bad their record was at the All-Star break.
Right.
They were dead last.
They wanted Martinez fired a month into the season.
Yeah. They were trading off everyone. They were trying to get rid of Parayko. They were trying to get rid of Petrangelo, and it was like they turned it around, and it was just like it's these teams that have no expectations that they go in. They're playing with house money. They don't give a shit. They're going out there. They're having a hell of a lot more fun than the Astros, who you're sitting here going, well, if they don't win Game 6, it's kind of a bust. Like this, okay. Oh, they get to see Game 7. Well, they need to win Game 7, or else this team's kind of a bust. And no one's saying that about the Nats. Like if the Nats lose Game 6, you're like, well, yeah, the Astros are the better team. Whatever. They shouldn't even have been in Game 6.
Yep.
I'm just happy they're here, and they win it. And you're like, wow, they made it to Game 7. Holy shit, this is crazy. If they lose, who cares? They shouldn't even be here, and they win it anyways because they just don't care at that point. You're out there just playing with house money and being a little more loose than the
I also
number one
really
guys.
enjoy that it's the year right after Bryce Harper left. That is my favorite.
Well, Bryce
That is
Harper
my,
did
like,
say he was going to bring a title back to DC.
Great.
Bryce
he
Harper
did
is not a liar.
He told the truth.
Addition by subtraction. I love it.
He literally
He's a
told the
lot of
truth
things.
in
He's
his
not a
first
liar.
interview with the Phillies.
No, it's the addition by subtraction. I love it. They became such a better team. So close. Like,
I love Bryce.
can you imagine him on this team though? Like, would you like if he's still here?
I know. See, this is what I'm going to say. I loved Bryce. Still love Bryce, but he was not very good in the playoffs. Like
No.
ever.
And I will say though, the people that are like, "Oh, look at that, they're a better team without him." No. They're a better team with Bryce Harper. Any team's a better team with Bryce Harper.
If you have Bryce Harper,
There was just so many different intangibles that came together, and they got lucky, and they ran with their opportunity.
Yeah.
Shout out Bryce.
He still had a decent year this year. He had like a
he was
4
better
or
this
5
year.
WAR,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
I think he pushed 30 bombs. Like, he had a good year.
Oh, everybody hit 30 home runs this year. You would have hit
That's
20.
fair. Yeah.
You might have been able to. The big 71 arm.
Huge. Yeah. Do we have anything else on the World Series? Did we miss anything?
I just wanted to say, thinking back to the Detroit Tigers 2014 starting rotation, they got swept by the Orioles in 2014. Yikes. And every single one of their starters is now a star in the World Series and has won a World Series.
Fucking, what was it? It was
Verlander, Porcello, Price, Scherzer, and Sanchez.
Oh my!
Yeah. I saw that pop up the other day. I'm like, oh my god!
But how old were they then, though? Like,
this was what 5 years ago. So
was it actually?
Yeah. Verlander was in Cy Young
2014.
territory then.
Crazy, eh?
Price was at his prime. Scherzer wasn't this.
That was his AL Cy Young though. Takenny's won a Cy Young in each league. I don't know how many pitchers. Yep.
Oh shit.
Takenny's won one in each league. I don't think many pitchers have done that.
I think Roger Clemens did it, and I think that might be it. I think that was the thing.
I was gonna say I thought 3, but I could be wrong.
Maybe Randy Johnson.
That's possible. Yeah.
He might have won it with Seattle, and then he won it with. I know he won with Arizona.
Marcus Stroman lost his chance.
Shit, he was so close too. Yeah, that's the Tigers, man.
Isn't that crazy though? Like that team was
to a
so
really
good.
ridiculous ball.
That was Cabrera's prime. That
Chris
was
Davis in his prime.
Okay, yeah, that was Chris Davis in his prime, Manny Machado in his prime.
Adam Jones, just the heart and soul of that.
Matt Wieters.
Matt Wieters, absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Nate Reimold.
Ubaldo Jimenez.
Ubaldo
Jimenez. They didn't have a single starting pitcher on that team. That was a joke.
No, they didn't do anything.
But like even the rest of that team, they had Miggy in his prime, Prince Fielder,
Upton.
Yeah, Justin Upton.
They had Victor Martinez still.
V-Mart. Alex Avila was tearing the cover off the ball.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jose Iglesias?
I don't think he was there yet.
No?
Kinsley wasn't a part of that.
Oh, Kinsler was there, and this was like...
would be there.
Yeah.
Might have been earlier. Might have been.
I'm just looking at it now. Oh, Rajay Davis. That's big.
He was good too then. Like it was...
Even they had Robbie Ray and Drew Smiley in the rotation. Like, those are arms.
Wow.
They had Joba Chamberlain.
Joba Chamberlain. Oh, that guy.
It was a big unit.
That guy was
James McCann behind the plate. They did have Iglesias at short. That was his rookie year. Torrey Hunter in the outfield.
Torrey Hunter.
Castellanos. Eugenio
Joba Chamberlain. Before we move on there, Joba Chamberlain has the coolest tattoo because he got Tommy John. So they put 2 eyeballs above the scar so that it looks like a happy face when he does it. It's so
They
cool.
also had Castellanos and Eugenio Suarez and JD Martinez.
Eugenio Suarez with it.
JD Martinez, dude.
Yeah.
40
JD Martinez, wow.
JD
I know,
Martinez.
they got swept.
Nick Castellanos, he was
young. He was young.
Really good.
Dude, anything is possible in baseball.
And that team didn't win.
That team did nothing.
But they're all winning
that
now.
Team Dodgered.
Yeah. Kind of, speaking of the Dodgers, because I kind of want to go over Clayton Kershaw and Justin Verlander. The two of them are incredible regular season pitchers, and they are consistently Cy Young winners. It's not even like contenders. Like, they both have a number of Cy Youngs. But when it comes down to it, Verlander's been really bad in the World Series. Not so much in the postseason, but he's been really bad in the World Series.
The difference is he has a ring.
Yeah.
And people will give him a pass for that. I'm agreeing with you. He has never played well in the World Series, but he's got that ring that Kershaw doesn't have yet, and that's why people give him the slide.
Yeah.
But my question is, what is it about these two? Like, everyone else gets it done. What is it about the two of the best in the game?
On that? How old, without looking, I don't know, maybe you guys know, how old's Justin Verlander?
32?
I was going to say it's 36.
He's not that
36.
Holy shit.
How old is Clayton Kershaw?
Kershaw's only like 32.
33.
I think 31. We looked this up. Yeah.
Damn.
But people lump those two together, and it sucks because Kershaw's fallen off so much. But like, if he hadn't fallen off recently, you could have said, "Oh yeah, he could play to 40."
Yeah.
It's like Kershaw's.
See, but Kershaw got up to like here, whereas Verlander's kind of like here.
Yeah, but if Verlander won at like 33, 34, then realistically Kershaw's could still be right there.
But the thing was, Kershaw did like one of these and then has been up here the whole time.
Yeah.
Verlander's just kind of been cruising slowly, steadily. Like
Verlander's been that long-term investment.
Yeah. Like
Kershaw was that Ferrari for 10 years, and now you crack once, and you're
the
like,
engine's kind of starting to go. You've been revving it a little too high for a little too long.
Yeah.
What about Greinke? Do you throw him in that conversation now?
How old's Greinke? He's around that age.
Yeah.
I heard a crazy stat on the broadcast. Zach Greinke is the only player in the major leagues that has thrown against the Montreal Expos.
He's 36. Yeah,
he's the only player left that pitched against the Montreal Expos.
I also, on that note, I wanted to throw Zimmerman. Shout out to him. That old guy finally winning one. He was the first ever pick by the Nationals. That's pretty cool.
That was the stat I screwed up last time. He wasn't an Expo pick, but he was the first Nats pick. Yeah. Which is that's really cool for him, right? He's been there for that entire franchise. Yeah. It's good to finally see him get there, and he hit the first home run in World Series history for that franchise.
That's really.
It was more fun.
You could just
that team was more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm not mad that they won.
Former Blue Jay Young Gomes was on that team.
Absolutely.
Oh, so many former Jays. I swear, like my roommate and I were watching, and I said like one Jay's name, and then I'm like, oh, there's another. Osuna, Joe Smith on the Astros. He gave up some runs.
Jake Marisnick,
Hudson,
Diaz,
Dave Martinez, Nationals manager, played for the Jays. Buck was doing the thing. Diaz.
There's like a big reunion. There was a couple, I think, but
yeah, that's like 7 guys right there. That's
Jan Gomes. I don't know what you meant. Yeah, Jan Gomes and Mike Aviles for Esmiel Rogers.
Woo!
I didn't know Aviles was in that deal until I looked it up last night.
What a big move!
Jan Gomes and Mike Aviles for Esmiel Rogers.
At the time,
at the time it didn't even make sense.
Yeah,
like you're giving up two guys for a bullpen arm who's like, man,
that was bad.
Like Esmiel was okay
for the Jays.
We talked about Strasburg earlier, but can I take it back to him? He's going to opt out of his contract.
Is he for sure?
That's what's going around.
Okay.
That he's going to.
Because he has an opt out after this year and next year too, right?
And it makes sense. He won the MVP. He's going to get more money. He's going to get paid. But let me just read you some numbers here. He makes 25 this year.
Okay.
Million. That is. That's a lot. The year after he makes 15.
Okay.
So to me, it would make sense to play next year and then opt out. But if he gets hurt or something, then you're screwed.
You fuck your entire. Which with him is very possible.
It's very possible, and that's the thing. 2022 is also 15 million. 2023 is 45 million.
Oh my!
He's opting out of a $45 million year.
bEHsball.
Wow.
Like if he gets hurt, it's possible. Like he could get hurt. He's battled injuries before. He throws hard. There could be arm problems in the future. Hope not, but.
He's had Tommy John.
He's opting. Right? That's $100 million right there.
Am I wrong in saying he had Tommy John?
I
thought he did early, like really early in his career. I could be wrong. I
don't know. But
I know he went through a lot of arm problems, but I don't know if he actually.
I saw a tweet that was like, looking back on 4 years ago or 5 years ago, whenever they almost made a run, it made sense to sit out Strasburg at the end of the year because he was rested for this year.
Yeah, the thing I see with Strasburg is I don't know if he's chasing money, because again,
2011 he had Tommy John.
Okay, so I wasn't wrong. He's one of those guys. He was drafted by the Nats, and he was drafted first overall by the Nats, and he's been a Nat his whole life, and he seems like he likes it here. And I guess that kind of goes with the team. Like the team all seemed like they like it here. Like nobody wants to leave, and I don't know. I just don't see him leaving to chase a lot of cash.
Me either. And here's the way I look at free agents when I'm like trying to think of where they might go. I go, do they seem like a Yankee or do they not seem like a Yankee?
Yeah,
Garrett Cole seems like he could be a Yankee.
He's a Yankee.
Garrett Cole's a Yankee.
And
what you say? He was wearing white with a black hat.
Garrett Cole could be a Philly too, though, because the Phillies like to throw around money.
Does Garrett Cole want to shave the beard?
Do they have to?
No, I meant Yankees.
Oh, yeah. See,
and then goes
and the hair. Is it not like they can't do the long hair thing either?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. That's a whole different Garrett Cole.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's Yankees are out.
Yankee now,
I put a lot of work into getting my hair this length. I don't think I want to just shave it off to play for a team.
Nice hair.
I think I said earlier in podcast history that he was going to go to the Angels, so Let's go back to that, I guess.
You
The
did,
wild
yeah.
take.
Yeah.
I said last time, like, the Phillies should just chase after guys just because they need the arms. Like, if you put Garrett Cole and I think Hyun-Jin Ryu's a free agent too. I don't think he's re-signed yet. You throw those two names after Aaron Nola.
And Jake Arrieta.
And then Jake Arrieta is your 4 or 5 guy. It's like,
Is a gem.
I'll handle that.
Such
I think I've said this on 3 different podcasts now, but I kind of like it. I don't know. I just don't. I don't see Strasburg going anywhere else. Right? I also do. You see Rendon going anywhere else? That's the big thing for me. Yeah, because I think Rendon's one of those guys that he doesn't give a shit where he plays. He's here for the money.
Exactly.
And we've seen that the Nats aren't necessarily going to throw you all the money they can because they didn't.
I think they're going to throw the money at Strasburg first.
Yeah. Because if you were going to throw your money anywhere, you would have thrown it at Bryce Harper.
Yep.
And they did
that's why I think Rendon's gone.
Which sucks. He also seems to really like it. He doesn't seem to. He's not a baseball fan, so there was that the whole time. Like, he doesn't really care where he plays. But after that World Series, like, he saw him doing some of the stuff he did, and there was after they like showered him in beer, and he's sitting there, he's just like, "This is my city," and I'm like, okay, I get it. Well, like,
it's a bull claim.
I don't know. I don't know if that's like foreshadowing, like, yeah, he really likes Washington, or he's just like, yeah, I owned it. I'm out of here. Thanks.
Could just be partying.
Yeah.
Could just be having a good time.
Could just be hammered.
Absolutely, man. Like,
it was really funny to see him with that attitude because he's such a boring guy. And then you see him as they're chanting MVP, and he's just like, "Yep, let me hear more. You're damn right, I'm the MVP."
Bring it in, yeah.
I'm like, it's so out of character for him. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder where else he'd go. Like, I'm trying to think of who else.
I'm trying to run it right now. I don't.
If you're the Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, Jesus.
No, you know who they've been rumored on? Tanner Roark, who had a 4 ERA last year.
Yeah, but Roark's always been I wouldn't mind Roark.
Me either, but I just one time I want us to sign a big guy instead of letting go of a big guy. Just
Rogers has the money. Rogers has the money, right?
So why are we going after?
Why can't
Roark
realistically
and everybody's like waiver drops?
Realistically, what we could do right here is we could go after Cole, we could go after Strasburg, you could go after Rendon, you could go after Ryu. But no, this is what I'm saying. If you pick up these 4 guys, you're a championship team.
Why are you going after Rendon?
Because you moved Vlad to DH, and
no,
I would rather have Vlad at DH and Rendon on third.
I'd play Vlad first, then.
Either way.
Yeah, but
I'd rather have Rendon over Vlad at third. It's not, but like if you put Rendon on this team, move Vlad literally anywhere else, your team is instantly better. Is Rendon better than Justin Smoke?
No, absolutely.
Is Rendon better than Rowdy Tellez?
I'm not debating.
Right. That's why you bring Rendon in.
Is Rendon better than Luke Voigt?
Yes.
That's the big
Oof.
Home run wise, we don't know.
Oh, we do know.
We don't know yet.
We do know yet.
I still see potential in Luke Voigt. But he makes your team better. That's why you bring him in. You bring in if you bring in the biggest names, odds are you're gonna be a good team.
Okay, let me throw you one here. What if Donaldson leaves?
What if? I think it's almost guaranteed that he takes.
Yeah, so that's a big opening at the Braves. It's their window now. Couldn't they take a stab at Rendon?
100%, and that team would be disgusting.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think he'd enjoy going there too.
There's been a few rumors of Rendon to the Phillies.
Okay.
I could see that, but I don't know. I don't really know.
Rendon to the Phillies, go back to Bryce.
Yep. Bringing another ship to DC.
Bring another title to
They
DC.
go, yeah, they just
I just really want to bring more titles to DC.
I feel like one of the big starters is going to the Yankees. That's a given.
Yeah.
I feel
the
like
Yankees always pull a star though.
Phillies are going to get somebody. I would assume a starter.
As much as we talk about the Yankees pulling stars and spending all their money, when's the last time they've done it? Stanton trade. Paxton was a trade.
I'm going to count Stanton as throwing their money.
No, but they can afford to bring him in, but they haven't actually been like, oh, big name free agent here, take all our money in a long time.
Yeah.
Like, look at that roster and tell me if there's anyone on it that you're like, oh yeah, they did bring in such and such.
Cameron Maben.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, it's those types of guys
Big-
that they
big
LeMahieu.
LeMahieu, yeah.
LeMahieu's
That's-
pretty big.
that's-
They didn't
decent
they didn't
size.
give him a lot of money, did they?
No. No, like you're right. The last couple years they haven't, but it's because they have so much money because they have developed players well. So
Yeah.
they have that money tied up already, so they haven't been able to throw it around. But like, you're right, but at the same time, there's
Just
no denying they have a heavy
maybe
wallet.
they're not the Yankees. Maybe that's not the same Yankees team that we're used to
I
growing
think
up
they're
with.
gonna be the Yankees though now.
I guess they always have the money
I
to
think
make a
Didi
lead,
walk,
right?
I think Didi's gone.
Who? Didi? Yeah, I think they're kind of hard set on Didi. Honestly, that doesn't really matter for them though, because
No,
you just
but I'm
slide
just saying
Glaber to
that's
short.
money that they can throw at a starter.
Yeah, they slide Glaber to short.
I see Didi to the Mets. Thoughts on that?
I don't hate it.
Wow.
I think the Mets need a lot more help than just Didi.
Oh,
Well,
I do too, but I think that's a step in the right direction.
Yeah.
See, they put me
The
on.
Mets aren't that far off. Like, they had a really good.
Their starters are so good that they could be.
Yeah. They're probably losing Zach Wheeler, which who really
He's
cares?
been rumored to the Astros.
That could be a future Jay. I see that. becoming a
Zach
future-
Wheeler?
Yeah,
I don't want him. He's never healthy.
absolutely.
That's
why
I don't want another.
That's exactly why I see that name coming to the Jays.
I don't want another Aaron
He's
Sanchez.
that perfect kind of name that nobody else is gonna throw some money at. The Jays are just gonna be like, oh, you know what? He's our kind of guy. That'll be the headline. He's
Could be
our
a dumb
kind of guy.
question, but was Sanchez on the postseason roster?
No, he was injured.
Injured.
He got hurt in
Blister?
September.
Yeah.
Something stupid. It was like elbow or something. It wasn't even. They're just like, oh, he's got a hangnail. We're gonna shut him down, kind of type of thing.
He walked against the wind instead of with it.
Yeah,
Really
it hurt.
hurt him. So.
Boris didn't want him to miss out on money by playing hurt, so
Yeah.
they said no more.
Yeah,
The
but
Jays need
if you don't
starters.
play, you can't get bad stats. That's a fact.
Exactly. Like, his stats aren't gonna get worse.
Yeah.
Remember
If
that
you don't-
year he won the ERA title? That was unreal.
So good. God damn. I miss having a good
We
baseball
need to get
team.
him back. Do you think they'll take the trade back?
Can we just give them back? What's his name?
Fisher?
Derek Fisher.
Yeah,
That's it.
awful. I hated that deal at the time.
Just
I
take
hate
him.
it more now. I don't
Just
even
take-
care if Sanchez never plays another game. I still hate that deal.
Yeah.
Okay, I was more upset about
bEHsball, man.
That's the name that really hurts in that trade. Sanchez,
Yeah.
I believe I can get back,
You
or at
need
least recover
relievers.
from. Find anyone. I cannot find another bEHsball who was that just wholehearted and happy to be
Great
out
guy.
there. You want me to go close the game, coach? I'll go try to close it. You want me to start the very next day? All right, man, I'm in there.
Great guy.
Like
Decent reliever.
Gibby would write his name 8 times on the
Yeah.
sheet, just like, we got bEHsball, that's it.
Yeah.
Loved it.
The Astros also had McCullers on the DL. He had Tommy John this year. That's
Yeah.
a guy I love watching. I wish he had been in the World Series, man. I don't know how
Yeah.
much you guys have watched him. His curveball is disgusting.
Yeah.
He has the highest spin rate of any pitch by any
He was
pitcher.
really good in. Was it the World Series run that he was?
Yeah,
really good?
they
Like, he
used
was
him
their
out of
like.
10 that year. He was like their
Charlie
fourth.
Morton
I think.
was really good that year.
He was like their hybrid guy. Like, he was their Patrick Corbin.
He was a
you know?
swing man for sure. Yeah, yeah, I love him.
Charlie Morton was huge.
Charlie Morton was really big
Yeah.
too. That team's had some good players too.
They
Man.
did,
Just
yeah,
run
they-
through. They just consistently fill. That's a team that throws money at people. Like,
Who?
they're becoming the new Yankees.
Who'd they
Yeah.
throw money at?
They threw money at Garrett Cole.
That
Yeah.
pitch
They threw.
They
I'm pretty sure they
traded-
re-signed.
They
Verlander.
traded Cole.
they traded for
They traded for Verlander, but then they re-signed
they
him.
traded for
Yeah.
Greinke.
They traded for Cole. They traded for Greinke. They traded for Verlander.
They threw money
Yeah,
at
and then you
Brantley.
have to throw money at. They threw money at Brantley. They had to throw money at Bregman.
I
They
love
had
I
to
love
throw
that
money-
Brantley.
Okay, but
signing.
that's in house. You're gonna keep those.
But you're
guys.
throwing
if you're
them.
counting
no.
For a
No,
team that
yeah,
but
it's
you're
the same.
counting.
They're in the
but you're
same
happy that
spot.
those guys. But you're happy that you're throwing money at those
Yeah.
guys because they're the guys that you drafted in there. And
Yeah,
are now
no,
are
for
like-
sure. But they're doing what the Yankees were doing.
It is
throwing-
similar.
A
The
lot of
Yankees,
money.
the Yankees are gonna have that point come around.
Yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
It's just like Sanchez, Judge,
Yeah.
like all them are.
The Yankees
well,
haven't
Sanchez,
hit it yet.
Yeah, but like
That's fair.
I wanted Brantley to win the World Series too. I love
I
him
would
for
like to
so
see
long, and he lost that Cleveland versus Cubs series. Well, not
Yeah.
he lost it, but they lost.
so did Young Gomes though.
I was gonna say one of them had to do it.
Yeah, Young Gomes was.
One of them had to lose in 2 Game 7s, and I'm just glad it was Brantley instead of Young Gomes.
And I know the game was over. Obviously, he was the last out. You're down by 4, full count. Striking out to be the last out, Game 7, and the game. That's got to be such a bad feeling.
Yeah.
all you're praying for there is a base hit. Just don't let me be the guy.
I don't want to be the one.
And then you strike out.
It probably doesn't hurt as bad, the fact that it was a 4-run lead, and you're like, whatever.
Oh, no, for sure. But in your own head, you're like, shit.
You're like, man, maybe I get a base hit here. We get a couple together. We hit one out of the yard. It's possible.
Anything is possible.
There was a chance going into that ninth.
I didn't count out the Astros right until that last out. Like there's no doubt in my mind they could have put 4 hits together. They could have 3 singles and a home run. No problem. See
in the Nationals dugout, there was not a smile on anybody's face until they had 2 strikes on Brantley.
Yeah. There was no excitement. It was just like, we need to get this done. This team is really good. They can still hit, and they could easily throw 4 hits together really quick. And thank God they didn't, but it was possible. And
Daniel Hudson came in to close it down.
That's what I wanted to mention earlier. Daniel Hudson was
what a turnaround.
His first game of the year, he blew the game for the Jays. He let up the only run that ended up losing us the game. And he ends up being the last player to pitch in the MLB this season on the mound for the World Series.
And he was like their closer.
What did we get for him? Did we get anything?
It was a good deal, I think. I didn't hate the Daniel Hudson deal.
Oh, no, me either. I didn't care at all at the time, and now it's just like, well, shit.
Because Daniel Hudson's not young.
No. Well, Daniel Hudson wasn't doing...
And he was doing this in the Jays. Like, his numbers were gross. He had like a 2 point something.
But I mean, like, he wasn't going to be...
He was really
But I mean, like...
But he's not a part of
the plan going forward.
That's what I mean.
So, like, you get something for him. You take advantage of him being probably at, like, one of the best seasons, one of the better seasons you'll have now.
Hunter Strickland was on the Nats. What happened to Hunter Strickland?
Who knows, man? Who knows?
We got Kyle Johnson. The kid's a prospect, but
okay.
Is it decent? I think he's a decent prospect.
Do you know much about him?
I don't know anything about
so
him.
Like, what do you...
But I mean, I also don't know a lot of prospects. So I mean, I've heard that he's a good arm, which realistically, a good young arm for Daniel Hudson is like, yeah, we'll take that because Hudson's gonna walk at the end of the year because that guy's not coming back to be a Blue Jay. No. I would not. So I mean, you get something for him. You're not going to win this year. Let him go win the World Series.
Let him come back now.
Bring him back now. Sure.
Now he can come back and just coast, man.
Let's just sign everybody back. Sign Donaldson. Sign Sanchez. Sign Hudson.
Sign Edwin, who just got released from his contract.
Yeah, bring Edwin back.
They announced was that today that they are declining the option on Edwin's deal.
Not to take.
I think it'd be fun to bring him back. Like, there's no point. But why not? Like, I don't think this is going to be a year we win.
This is definitely not a year we win.
Like, I have faith in Bo.
Did he ever really get a send-off?
No, not really. He kind of faded. You went into that offseason thinking, yeah, we could get Edwin back. We're not going to get Jose, but we can get Edwin back.
No. And then all the focus was on Jose.
Yeah. And it was just like...
But it was all in the fact that we weren't getting him. I think.
Yeah.
As far as
but it was just
Jose,
like, no, because
Edwin, they just never really.
Because Edwin, it was just like you thought he was coming back, so you didn't have to worry about like giving him a big standing O and letting him go out and yay, hoorah, thanks Edwin. Because it was like, yeah, we can re-sign him. He's not going to ask for that much, and he really didn't ask for that much. He asked for Kendrys Morales money.
I don't even think we offered him money.
And we gave that money to Kendrys Morales. Yeah. And I'm like, okay. Like instantly, they didn't wait. They didn't play the market. They just said, yeah, here, Kendrys, take all our money. And
he's fast.
He ended up signing for the same deal. So the what?
Kendrys is a good runner, so.
Oh yeah, incredible. Really stable legs too. He's really good at jumping and landing clean.
Better first baseman by depth.
Like, incredible. Oh,
by far.
Easily the most wild sideburns we've ever had.
Oh, absolutely.
That's not true. We had like Brian Talent back in the day. Do you remember him? Oh, Brian Talent had the wildest.
Just the
Google Brian Talent. He had the wildest, like fucking, just the mutton chops. It was wild. That guy was something else.
Isn't that what you're doing for Movember?
Me?
Yeah.
Get the full like.
There you go.
Up and around. Maybe
have it connect.
I feel like we should be like
tattoo idea. Actually.
I feel like as a podcast we should be raising money for Movember. If we're all gonna go with these mustaches, maybe we'll set that.
That's the point, though, is that you raise money for it.
Maybe we'll set that up for the hockey one.
I like it.
I think you guys both have ridiculous looking mustaches.
My tattoo idea for you is gonna be a mutton chop tattoo, so it's just permanently there.
It's on my
it's
leg.
on the leg.
It's like
No.
right above
Oh.
my kneecap area.
I tuned out.
Yeah,
for that.
yeah. So like I can still
do
hide
it anyways. I want
Make
you
it
to
a
get
munch-
Brian
a per-
Tallett's
a
face.
permanent munch.
I want you to get Brian Tallett's face on your
you,
leg.
you draw it.
All right, I'll draw Brian Tallett.
You got to be the one to illustrate it. Yeah. Send it
That'd be
around.
perfect.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk managers quick? I saw you put down.
Just real quick. I got the Royals signed Mike Matheny. I kind of like that move. I thought Mike Matheny did a really good job in St. Louis while he was there. He kind of got a bad rap at the end because the team kind of started to fall apart, and he kind of got blamed for it. But I think he was a really good man.
He didn't really adapt. I think that was more the knock on him. But like he was there a long time. He had his ways.
Yeah,
Eventually it wasn't working. Yeah, that happens everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, he was a really good manager for years there, and I think he should. There's some young guys on that Royals team that are really good. Like Adalberto Mondesi is really good. Jorge Soler quietly was like top 5 in home runs this year.
Sneaky good.
He's like a big power, big miss.
Yeah, no, 100%. He's all in or all out.
Yeah,
but,
absolutely. No, he had a really good
But just quietly was one of the better players in baseball in the second half.
He's like Joey Gallo, really.
Yeah,
pretty much like just.
But even Joey Gallo's starting to figure it out too, right? Like you could always flick that switch, and I think he's a guy that could do it. But he's been a guy that could do it for the past 5 years and hasn't been. So
I do love Whit Merrifield too. He doesn't get near.
That's the other name I was thinking. Yeah. Like that's the 3 guys that you're like,
Sally
you know what?
I still love, man.
Sal Perez, if he comes back,
I love him as a catcher.
Phillips too.
One of my favorites in the game.
Yeah, they've just got some names that are like, okay, like they're decent. Like they were.
They're kind of in the middle and ground. They're not bad enough to get the first pick. They're not good enough to make the playoffs. And they've got old guys on big deals like Alex Gordon. Perez, he could still. But
Alex Gordon was good. Like that's the thing is like Alex Gordon's making a lot of money.
Really good at the beginning
of
the year though, and then he kind of
he faded, but like he was good enough that you're like, okay, you can put him out there every day on a good team.
But like they're still putting it like Billy Hamilton as like an everyday like
he
was on, but he started there. Yeah, okay, so that's right because he went to the Braves. Yeah, no, I could see them being
they're not going to be a playoff team. I'm not saying it, but they're not going to be a fun team to play.
Even with the championship like history there, you could bring in better players in the offseason, right? You have that.
Kansas City is a nice place to live.
It looks like a really nice ballpark too.
It's a big baseball place.
Yeah. I could see them. They're not going to be good.
I got traded there in the show, so I'm loving it now. We're looking good. It was better than Baltimore. So, I mean,
they're not going to be a good team, but I think they're going to be a team you don't really like to play because they got a lot of speed. They got some guys that can hit, and I think with Matheny as a manager, they're going to do some good things.
They have an unreal prospect, most American name ever, Bobby Witt Jr.
Bobby Witt Jr. Oh man, I hope
second overall pick last year.
Is he gonna come up this year? Like how many years is he away?
Baseball, if you're a top pick, you're like 4 years away. It's stupid.
Yeah, I'd give him another 2 years probably. He's 8th in the top prospects for the MLB shortstop.
Bobby Witt Jr. I love it.
Baseball's crazy, man. You can be the top prospect for like 4 years and not come up.
Yeah.
And then next year, all of a sudden you're 50th.
Yeah.
Yeah, or you could be the top prospect, just get rifled in there, and you're set to go. That's it.
That's wild.
You turn into Juan Soto.
Bring it back to the World Series. Did you guys see that quote from Soto? They were asking him about his time in AA to start of last year, and he was instead of like getting a place to rent or anything, I think it was, he brought an air mattress to one of his teammates' places and blew it up and was sleeping on the floor. He was there for like 6 days, and then the manager came in and he's like, "Hey, like, Juan, I know like you're just trying to save some money or whatever here, but like we're gonna need you to get a bed. Like we want you to be well rested for home games and whatnot." And he goes, "Oh, it's okay. I won't be here long." 2 days later, he gets called up to the majors. I love it.
That guy's a stud, dude. That guy's got such an attitude to him. It's just like
you want that confidence.
That whole stare down he does, and like the little
Yeah.
shimmy. He's nodding. He nodded at I think it was Greinke at one point, and Greinke's like, "What the fuck is this kid doing?"
Oh, Greinke and him had a little bit of mind games going on.
Unreal.
Their bats,
There was one stat I wanted to mention. I've completely forgot this whole time. But so there's 2 pitchers in MLB history that have won 5 games in a postseason. Randy Johnson, Steven Strasburg. That's it.
It's impressive. Mad Bum, no way.
No.
No.
Yeah, Randy Johnson, Steven Strasburg, the only 2 in MLB history. I'm like, that's nuts. Hell of a run for the guy.
Yeah.
I think that just about does it for us, eh? Unless you got.
Do you want to throw in a way too early prediction for next year's World Series?
All right, yeah, why not?
Oh,
We don't know
Before
where
anyone
anybody
even
is
signs
going.
anyone?
Oh, way too early. All right, I'm gonna say it now. I think it's a Yankee year.
I was
Yeah, I don't know why.
I was thinking the same thing.
It's feeling like a Yankee year. It's just I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna hate it. But
Yeah,
Yankee year for me, man.
I'm going Brew Crew, baby.
I was gonna. Okay, you both just took the picks I was thinking. I was like, I'm like, he's saying Yankees. I'm like, Brewers could. No, you got that. I'm gonna have some fun. Maybe next year's the Dodgers year.
Oh,
It's definitely not the Mariners
Mariners.
year. It's a good try. Maybe it's the Dodgers year. I mean, it's been the Dodgers year for 8 years. Maybe next year they're the Washington Capitals and they finally break through. I don't know. I doubt it. I don't think that team's built for the playoffs, but maybe. Who knows?
So not being your third pick, then though, you would say Yankees.
I would say Yankees Brewers
Brewers.
above them, yes. But I'm saying because you two picked the other ones, I'll say Dodgers for
I
fun.
can see that.
Without knowing who signs who, that's going to change a lot of things.
Yeah.
How about a dark horse? Can we?
Dark horse? Are you going to say the Twins again?
No, I'm off that bandwagon. They were a 1-year wonder.
As soon as they got,
but I don't even know how dark horse it would be though.
I gotta look back and see some of the teams that are in this league.
Would it be are the Phillies a dark horse? Could I say the Phillies is a dark horse?
I'll take it.
I would say the Phillies
because you don't really I know they have the players to win, but no one's really taken. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say the Phillies is my dark horse. I think.
You know who's kind of a dark horse? The Boston Red Sox.
No, man.
Nah, I think I have them missing the playoffs.
You think so? Again?
Oh, yeah.
I think JD Martinez leaves.
Yeah. I think they trade Betts, but again, Martinez leaves.
We're kind of discounting the fact that Boston can also spend a lot of money.
Oh, they can
throw a lot of big name free agents that they could bring in.
Is the Cubs dark horse? Can I say that?
Yeah, I'd give them some playoffs this year, right? Like,
they've still got some pieces. Bring in a new manager, switch some things around. If they can add one good starter, get some bounce backs from Darvish, guys like that.
One team, I don't think they're going to be a championship contender, but I'm surprised the Rockies weren't better than they were this year. Because they were really good last year. Didn't change much.
The NL is just so tough.
Yeah,
I think that's also a matter of their ballpark too.
But their division sucks. Outside of the Dodgers, the Dodgers are obviously the best, but then you got Arizona, San Fran, Colorado, San Diego.
Right, but if they all kind of all
San Diego's going to be better.
San Diego's always going to be better.
Exactly. Think about how many times the Dodgers beat them this year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's wins that even if you're going 500 with the first place team in a different division, could be 10 wins there.
Yeah. That's fair.
Yeah.
Atlanta could be a team that wins it.
Atlanta.
I wouldn't say Atlanta's a dark horse, though.
I don't think I was going to say Atlanta, but
yeah. Atlanta, I think
I'm curious about
kind of know they're good.
Away. Yeah, next year.
I think they kind of got upset this year.
I think they take a step forward.
Or they would.
I'm curious about Donaldson. Donaldson's a big piece of that to me. Their whole vibe and culture. I think he's a big proponent of that.
I think he was happy with
talk
the
about that on you and I touched on it on one of them, and I think that he almost would stay.
I think
if the price
I hope
is
he
right.
does.
And
I think he's happy with the way they treated him.
And Anthopoulos is there. He always seems to just give him the right words to be hey man, this is a good place to be. And
that's the thing. That's the thing too is he's got that previous relationship.
If you make him feel that he's the MVP or the captain of that team, whether he is or not, because I think Freddie Freeman will forever be the heart and soul of that team. But it's Freddie Freeman is not he doesn't seem like he's the over the top and flashiest.
No,
I'm taking the highlight of this play, and that's where Donaldson comes in and gives that team that that little bit of flash that Acuna
he'll fight people for your team.
But like that Acuna's kind of missing because Acuna's kind of doing it like a kid, where he's like making really good highlight plays and then he makes really dumb plays where he doesn't run.
Also walking the first.
This is what I mean, right? Yeah. So where Donaldson is like, I'm going to show you what like
he's
what
the Jonathan Papelbon to Bryce Harper.
Yeah. Yeah. So.
I mean,
wow, that was not that far away. Eh?
Yeah.
We are not far removed from that whole situation.
No.
And now that team's a World Series champion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just take it in.
History. Seattle Mariners.
Crazy.
What a
Seattle Mariners, your 2020 World Series champions.
Siri thought I said, hey Siri. It was history. She's an idiot. Let's end it.
Thank you, Siri, for your input. thank you for listening and watching, I guess. Don't forget to subscribe, like. They're both down there somewhere. Follow us at the bEHsball on everything. Please shred Nick for that jersey. Except the back. The back's sick. He's allowed to wear that.
Stay, the front can go. We'll just.
Please send in your pics for Brandon's tattoo. I'd really like to get some sort of options for this. I'll snip this. I'll put it on Instagram, the first part, so that maybe we get a little more viewership.
Right here. You can have this.
I really want to see something.
You can have stupid. This part of my leg, everyone.
It's gonna
That's it.
It's gonna be pretty.
Right.
I really appreciate the help. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.